This Caseology Parallax is my favourite case for the S21 FE. Stick around to find out why, and as we check out 9 other of our favourite cases. Let's start off with these silicone cases. We have one from Olixar and one from Samsung. The Samsung silicone case looks great, and in this olive colour is the exact same colour as the olive coloured FE. The cutouts for the camera are all individual rather than just being one big cutout. And of course, at the bottom you get the Samsung logo. The Olixar one feels very much the same, to be honest. The materials are almost identical and the buttons feel just as clicky. They don't come in the exact colours of the S21 FE, however the colours they do come in are nice and bright. The cutout for the camera is just one big cutout compared to the individual ones like I prefer. Between these though, I must say the price difference, I would probably go for the Olixar and maybe get a few of them in different colours so you can mix and match them for, I don't know, your clothes or coats. The Samsung case is nice, but it's just not worth the extra money in my mind, unless you want the exact same colour as your S21 FE. Moving on to my personal favourite, this Caseology Parallax case. On the back of the case they have this 3D design, which not only feels amazing in the hands, but also adds some good grip to the case. Add to the fact the buttons are incredibly tactile and very responsive. This is a must-have case in my opinion. Although being made from rubber, it is actually fairly hard. This makes the phone feel solid and not squishy like some other protective cases do. I also really appreciate the minimal branding on the back of the case, with just this small little Caseology logo in the bottom third. This is my first time using a Caseology case and I can see why people love them. A close second favourite from me is this Spigen Tough Armour. As with all Spigen cases, the buttons feel fantastic and I really appreciate the plus and minus on the volume rocker and also the extra grip they've got on the power button. This means when you've got it in your hand, you know exactly which button you are pressing. With the triple layer design, this case can certainly protect your phone in some serious drops. The hard outer layer makes the phone feel solid in the hands, but it's not particularly grippy. But it does make up for this by having a nice built-in kickstand. If you're commuting on the train, then this kickstand will allow you to catch up with your YouTube subscriptions easily and comfortably. Just like the Caseology case, this case also has minimal branding, with just the Spigen logo on the kickstand itself. The only thing I dislike about it is that it's only available in black, so it's not very interesting if you want a colourful case like, say, some of these silicone ones. Next up we have the Zizo Bolt, which is a bit of a do-it-all case. With the case, it comes with a built-in kickstand, a screen protector, a belt holder, and finally a lanyard. Yes, it comes with a lot. It's also a very large case, so it's not for your average user. In my mind, this is a perfect case for someone that does not baby their phone. You know, the type that just chucks it on the floor at the gym or on the table at the pub. The kickstand on the back of the case is a very nice feature and stands the phone up very well. Although on our case it was pretty hard to actually get out in the first place and we ended up just prying it open with a key. The belt clip can also be used as a stand and is very sturdy too. I can see this section of the case being useful for builders which might have pockets full of screws or drill bits. You can easily clip this onto your belt, at which point the screen is covered and fully protective. Then you just simply unclip it and use your phone when you need it. The additional lanyard is also a nice touch if you want to keep your phone around your neck at a festival or while you're on holiday. Overall, a good case if you do want a do-it-all. However, if protection is the main reason you want a case, then the UAG Plasma might be for you. Straight away, you can see this follows UAG's usual design pattern of a rugged, tough looking case. The clear back is made from very hard plastic, making the case fairly stiff and quite hard to get on and off the phone. It's not a bad thing though, because at least it won't fly off your phone if you drop it. Moving to the corners of the case, you can see it has been reinforced with tough rubber material, which also makes its way around the camera bump. The rubber should help absorb impacts and protect the phone. You can also see that the rubber is all the way around the screen. This gives the case a good lip, and it means you'll have no worries putting the phone face down on a flat surface, as the screen will be lifted up from it. It also helps the screen gain protection, as the lip should make sure the screen doesn't hit the floor when dropped. Moving to the side of the case, there are raised bumps in the plastic, which helps add a little bit more grip to the phone. And in turn, it does make it easier to hold, and you'll be less likely to drop the phone in the first place. As with all UAG cases that I've used, the buttons are nice and flexible thanks to the rubber being different on the buttons and the little slits they add on half of the button. That means the buttons feel great and clicky. The next case we have is this Olixar wallet case. Now, we've all seen these cases before. You snap your phone into the case section and you get 360 degrees protection with the front cover protecting the screen. This one has a couple of other benefits. You can store 3 cards in the flip cover and then either store more cards or just cash into this other compartment. This will add a little bit of bulk to your phone, but it's outweighed by the fact that you won't need to carry around a separate wallet then. The case closes with a satisfying magnetic clasp, which stops the cover flying around. However, you can also use this case as a stand to watch YouTube and Netflix on the move. Just don't push the screen too hard, as it will just fall back. If having a sturdy stand is what you have in mind, then look no further than Samsung's official stand case. As this is a clear case, you'll be able to see whichever colour of the S21 FE you've bought. You can also see on the back there is just a big cutout from the cameras rather than the individual ones that we saw on Samsung's Silicone case earlier. On the sides of the case, you can see it's ridged on both of them. This provides a good amount of grip in your hands and should actually stop you from dropping the phone so easily. The buttons are slightly raised from the rest, however the material is pretty thick, so the buttons work fine, but they don't have the same clicky feel as they do on the Silicone case or the Caseology case. The main reason you would pick this case is because of the stand on the back. The stand is made from metal and has a very sturdy hinge. This allows the phone to have a wide variety of viewing angles and can be used with the phone in both landscape and portrait as well. The only thing about this stand is that it sticks out from the rest of the case. This means even when it's closed, it creates a bump at the bottom of the phone, so it will rock around on a flat table. Slightly annoying, but if you are going to use that stand a lot, let's say on your commute every day, it's probably a good trade-off. Overall, a nice case which is a little thicker than expected, but offers decent protection and also a fantastic kickstand. Next up, we have Samsung's Smart Clearview cover in olive. And just like the Silicone case we shown earlier, it is exactly the same colour as the S21 FE. Moving to the back, you can see this shares the individual cutouts of the camera lenses, which will provide more protection just like the Silicone case. Moving to the side, the buttons are raised and still feel really clicky, which is fantastic. But around the front is why you'd pick this. The front flap has a lovely window, which when closed provides you with information on notifications, battery percentage and the time. Very handy with this type of case, as the screen is actually completely protected. As you can see, the phone knows when the cover is shut and automatically changes the display. At the top of the flap, there's also a cutout for the ear speaker, so you can close the flap when on a call and not have it in the way or folded around the back of the phone. A couple of things I have noticed though is that there's no clasp or strong magnet in the flap, so it does not stay attached to the front of the phone and does move around when you are handling it. Also, when we installed the case with the screen protector, and a very thin one at that, the flap did not shut completely flush. That really shows that Samsung is working on very tight tolerances. However, this still has to be one of my favourite cases from this video. It not only protects the phone 360 degrees, but it does not lose any functionality by covering up the display, as it has that window for information. Last but not least, we have this auto sleep case for the S21 FE. This is supposed to wake the screen when opening and closing the case. However, ours does not seem to be working at all. However, if you're not bothered about that function, then the case still has some good points. Just like the Olixar wallet case, you can stand up your phone to watch YouTube and Netflix on the move. And as there's just a nice big cutout for the buttons, there's nothing to get in the way when you're pressing them, so they feel great. The case overall does feel a little bit cheap, to be honest, so you can understand why this is so much cheaper than Samsung's version, which actually works. So there you go, 10 cases for the S21 FE. My top 3 have got to be Caseology's Parallax due to its fantastic feel and overall protection. Then probably Olixar's Silicone case, as it's close to the official one without the cost. And then finally, I've got to give it to Samsung and their own smart cover, which provides 360-degree protection while still giving you access to notifications. To buy any of these, head to the links in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like and consider subscribing.